I will never read every book. I will never listen to every song. I won't step foot in every city, but I will live 1,000,000 lives. I actually like saying goodbye. I feel like in this world we live with this idea that we're going to live forever and that everything is fairy and rainbows. And then at a certain point we realize it's not, and then we just kind of are lost and we don't know what we're going to do. And granted, I've had that happen to me, and that's kind of why I think I'm so good at goodbyes. I think the greatest example of goodbye is, when you're a little kid and then your family pet, your family dog passes away. And it's a tough goodbye. It's no matter how old you are, like your parents, your grandparents, everyone, like when that dog passes away, it's hard to say goodbye to them. And another thing everyone experiences when the grandparents pass away, that's always a tough goodbye as well. And it's something everyone goes through, it's not just a single person. It's a tough goodbye. It's a permanent goodbye. I think I've been thinking about goodbyes because of college graduation. And it was kind of weird for me because I graduated in December 2025, so most of my friends graduated in May 2025, so I was kind of left without them. I had to say goodbye, and they left me. And then I made some friends a year younger than me, or I already had friends that were younger than me, but I made more of them, and now they're graduating, so I'm saying goodbye to them. So I kind of had like a double goodbye, which was weird. And I see everyone posting on like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss this place so much, yada yada yada, I'm so sad. And it's like, girls crying and stuff, like I'm gonna miss this place, the best 4 years of my life. I think that's the beauty of it, because of college or just high school or any sort of goodbye when you're set in a certain place for so much time, is that it's not permanent. It's just a part of your life. It's part of the journey. And I think the best part of it is you have to say goodbye to it. I feel like we live in a world where we think everything's permanent. And we need to get used to saying goodbye more often, because I think goodbye is one of the purest forms of emotion. Because what comes after a goodbye is a hello. Because someone comes out of your life, someone new comes in. And there's this idea that we have to stay, everything has to stay the same. Like when a show loses a main character, or the plot gets different, or it's not the same as it was the season before, people hate on it. It's like, why did it change? Like, that's life. It's supposed to change. You're supposed to say goodbye. And I think that's why artists are so beautiful. Just creativity. Like Kid Cudi, for example, he's my favorite artist of all time, and he says, I have so many good songs that I'll never release because they sound the same. They sound like my old stuff. Like every album has to be new and different. And like, what a beautiful mindset. Like, you say goodbye to the past and you make something new each time and grow from it. Because if you never say goodbye, you're stuck there. Whether it comes to an idea, a person, a place, a job, you have to say goodbye and move on. Because if you don't, you're stuck. And you become stuck in this endless cycle of misery. And I think that's where nostalgia comes from, is the fact that we can't really say goodbye. We get stuck in the past and thinking about how great it was, and over time it gets even better and better and better because we could never say goodbye to it. Now granted, I love nostalgia. Right now I've been on like a big 2018 music thing, which I think is great because I was able to say goodbye, but now I could come back to it and reflect like, yeah, that was a good time, Maybe I think it's a little better now than it actually was in the moment. But I think that's what saying goodbye allows us to do, reflect on the past, and when we look back on it, we can enjoy the good parts about it and forget the bad. Because when you say goodbye, you leave it all behind, especially the worst moments. And when you come back to it, it's only the good moments you remember. Granted, I'm sure there's some bad moments that you'll never forget, but that's just human nature. We're always going to think of the worst things from time to time. But there really is a beauty to it. And I think one of the ways we can say goodbye more often in our regular life is listening to the radio. Because it's out of our control and it's unpredictable. You listen to a song and then it's gone in the blink of an eye. I've been thinking a lot about being in control of your own life, and how sometimes we kind of need to step away from it. Like, say goodbye to control, because frankly, we're not in control of our own lives. There's so many factors. Every day there's some rich person, some random guy at a factory. Like, every which way, someone has had an effect on our lives that we don't even know it. Probably millions of people. Whether from the gas you're doing, from the door you're opening, the handle, how it's made, how that electricity gets from one place to your house, Throughout history, we've been affected by literally everything. And we can overthink about that. Well, let's say goodbye to that thought, whatever. Crazy. We live in a life where things happen. But I feel like we don't say goodbye enough, and in a meaningful way. I'm not very emotionally attached to anything. I think it's because it's like I kind of protect myself by not getting attached to things and not getting affected. I'm really good at creating this image in my head, and I realize that it's fake. It's not like the reality of what is happening or that person. And so I see that and I realize it very quickly, and I'm able to detach myself from that. And so when I meet the real person and I hang out with them and I say goodbye, it's not hard for me to do, because I realize they're not the image in my head. They're just the actual person living their own lives. And like, we cross paths, and I'm grateful for that. But obviously, it's not meant to be, whether it be a friendship, relationship, etc. Oh my God, I need to sneeze. I'm not crying, I swear. Let me say goodbye for a second while I sneeze. I think goodbyes are beautiful, like just in a romantic sense too, because what's the saying? If you love something, you have to let it go. That's the ultimate goodbye. Obviously, death. I think the hardest thing for goodbyes is saying goodbye to a dream. I think we all have these ideas, especially as a kid. Everyone had a dream. Everyone thought they were going to be something. I think my problem is I had too many dreams. One day I was an astronaut, next day I was an NFL player, next day I was Dr. Fauci. I wanted to be Dr. Fauci when COVID started. I was like, this guy's a badass. He gets to work with viruses and see how they work and tick. Like, that's cool as F. I want to do that. Be a doctor, like a scientist. And then now I want to be a writer. I want to be a YouTuber. I just want to be a person who helps. And honestly, I just want to live a million lives, which kind of makes sense, as a kid, because I never could station in on one thing. I think that's the beauty of it, where like you could say I'm in denial about saying goodbye because I picked too many things, or maybe I had the ultimate goodbye because I said I don't want to chase one path. I mean, everyone's different in that sense, but man, say goodbye to people, romanticize it. Like, they can come back into your life, but just know that they're coming back not as that same person. You're starting fresh. Now, granted, I don't think women should listen to me in this sense, because like I have friends who have are off and on with their girlfriends or ex-girlfriends, and that's like, don't say goodbye in that. Okay, I'm not saying get back with your ex, he's a great new person now. Okay, no, I'm talking about saying goodbye to that part of your life, like when you were thinking you were depressed for a long time, you weren't thinking how you should be, you were abusing drugs or drinking, or maybe just too self-absorbed, you didn't see what was happening around you to your friends, you're a bad friend. Like, say goodbye to that. And you can say goodbye to yourself, not like in a suicide way, but your past actions and everything, because that's all it takes to forget about your past, is just say goodbye. It does not define you, and it never will. And I think goodbyes really are the future, ironically, because you're saying it to the past, but it really shapes your future. Because what comes after a goodbye is a hello, when you see them again, when you see yourself again, when you see the future. Now, I got a little philosophical here and kind of jumped all over the place, but I'll probably keep this video under 10 minutes just because I want you guys to think about it on your own. Think about saying goodbye more often and embracing it and how beautiful it is. You're closing one chapter and starting a new. The best part about ending a book is starting the next one. So, why not do that with your life?